So why do I keep living? Y'all not getting it? So you tell me, why should I keep living? So Osiris broke down in tears during a live stream. No one hit him. There were no police, just a phone and a single sentence that left millions in stunned silence. I don't want to stay silent anymore. What Diddy did to me in Jamaica, it wasn't an accident. The sentence disappeared from the screen instantly. The live stream cut off after 47 seconds, but the video had already been recorded, and within just 3 hours it went viral, surpassing 20 million views. That evening, a hashtag shot straight to the top of Twitter, Ma Jamaica Villa. Location, Montego Bay, Jamaica. A privately rented villa. No security, no exterior cameras. The guest list was deleted within 24 hours. YK Osiris was the only person who left by air at 5:41 a.m., with no luggage and no assistant. And today, he's the first to break the silence. Part 1. Montego Bay. No cameras. The villa is located less than 12 kilometers from Sangster International Airport. A dirt road leads to the main gate, lined with short palm trees on both sides. There was no villa name, no signage. No one outside knew that over 20 people were brought there that night in private vehicles. A 3-story villa with an ocean view was rented under the name of a Delaware-based limited liability company with the contract signed by Sean Combs' attorney. The rental period began on June 18th and ended on June 21st. The full payment was made in advance. There was no request to install any security cameras. The internal security system relied on private guards, not affiliated with any Jamaican agency. The glass doors were covered with dark film. The curtains were fully drawn. No public Wi-Fi signal was available. Outdoor lighting was turned off after 9:00 p.m. According to Jamaican customs records, YK Osiris landed at 2:23 p.m. on June 19th. He was alone. He did not check in at any hotels in the area. He did not rent a car. An airport hotel staff member reported that he was picked up by a black SUV with diplomatic plates. No logos, luggage, one carry-on backpack, no recording equipment, no assistant. From that point till his departure, there were no further records of Osiris appearing at any public locations. No restaurants, no bars, no hotels, no cameras captured him outside the airport. The only known image came from a 6-second video secretly filmed by a liquor delivery worker. In the clip, Osiris appeared on the second-floor balcony of the villa, wearing a white shirt, no shoes. He didn't speak. He stared directly into the camera as if he knew he was being filmed. The delivery worker was later denied payment and escorted off the premises. The party was confirmed to have taken place on the night of June 19th. A DJ from Atlanta posted a story but deleted it after 20 minutes. No well-known guests were publicly mentioned. No one tagged the location. No one left any trace afterward. According to internal sources, the villa was divided into 3 levels. The ground floor was the party area. Dim lighting, loud music, all doors shut. The second floor was the rest area with each room secured by individual passcodes. The third floor was blocked off. Staff and DJs were not allowed up there. An anonymous witness who once worked a similar party hosted by Diddy confirmed the third floor is off-limits. Everyone who's ever gone up there vanished from the staff roster afterward. Osiris was taken to the second floor at 8:47 p.m. A server noticed he was unsteady, showing signs of intoxication. No one accompanied him. No one returned. The music continued until nearly 3. A tourist video recorded from a distance showed flickering lights on the second floor. No one inside responded. No one outside entered. At 5:41 a.m. on June 20th, Jamaican Customs confirmed Osiris boarded the earliest flight back to Miami. He wore a black t-shirt and hoodie, carried no luggage, no escort. No one traveled with him. After arriving, he posted nothing on social media for the next 10 days. On the afternoon of July 1st, an unexpected live stream appeared on YK Osiris's secondary Instagram account. No promotion, no announcement, no clear audience. In the video, Osiris spoke only 2 sentences before losing control. Jamaica, I can't keep this in anymore. What he did to me, it wasn't an accident. He remained silent for over 40 seconds. Then the video cut off. It's unclear whether due to technical issues or deliberate removal. That same night, 3 anonymous users reposted the shortened live stream on Twitter X. The hashtags What Diddy Did and Jamaica Villa immediately began trending. One account confirmed the villa had been previously rented by Diddy's team. Another user found an interior photo of the villa, matching the exact background seen in the live stream, the ceiling lights and wall texture. At the same time, an anonymous message was sent to an investigative journalist in Atlanta, containing images of liquor and food delivery schedules for June 19th, confirming that at least 5 other individuals in addition to Diddy and Osiris were present that night. The full list has not been released. Diddy has not issued a response. Media outlets that contacted his representatives were all denied comment. Osiris has not reappeared in public since the live stream. His official account remains active but has no new posts. His personal manager declined to answer any questions, sending only a one-line email reply. No comment. Jamaican police have no record of any investigation related to the Montego Bay villa between June. A senior officer from the local police department simply stated, "It's a private area. No one called it in. No break-ins. No crimes reported. But the internet isn't buying it." As of the morning of July 3rd, the original live stream and its re-uploads had accumulated over 20. Hundreds of thousands of comments are calling for Diddy to be investigated.
And no longer
Several
has a voice who will pursue justice for her accusation.
Including a singer who previously
As of the
had
taken
falling
against
out with
Diddy,
in 20.
no
None have
expansion of the
confirmed
investigation,
allegations,
no
but they all
isolation
use the
orders,
same phrase,
no
silent
equipment
for too long.
access,
And this is
no
only the
suspension
beginning.
of attorney
Part 2.
communication.
The data
Everything
begins.
inside solitary
What
block
happened
C
inside the
continued as
villa?
before.
On the night of June
Everything
19th,
except the fear.
there was no rain
If a
in
female
Montego
warden
Bay.
can vanish
The
after a
temperature
single
outside
nothing
was
except
27
the fear.
according to data
If
from
a
a
female
sound
warden
monitoring
can
station.
vanish after a
500
single note,
men away.
ones who once
The noise
worked
level from
overnight
the
in
villa
that area.
steadily increased
The
from
ones who
800
filed for
PM
leave without giving
to
a
11
reason.
PM,
The ones who
peaking
saw
near
but never
11:10
spoke.
dB,
No one mentions the
equivalent to a
note.
small concert.
But everyone knows
A
it
strange
appeared.
mix was played on
And if what it
repeat
says
4
is
times.
true,
No clear
then
lyrics.
punishment.
Low
Part
background
3.
rhythm,
The person
deep
no longer
frequencies
in the system.
interlaced
The
with
internal personnel
indistinguishable
database
voices.
of the Atlanta
An
Federal
audio
Detention
expert
Center
later
updated its weekly
confirmed this
roster.
wasn't a commercial
Under the
track.
category
It
Special
was likely
Personnel Code
custom-made for a
Adjustment,
private event.
the name of
The
Warden
DJ's
TD
name
was
not
marked as
identified.
removed
The
from
Instagram
system by
story was
administrative
deleted,
order.
and the
There was
account
no
set to
decision
private
number
immediately
recorded.
afterward.
It was
A leaked
deactivated.
message from the
Her
lighting
personal
technician
contact
showed he'd been
information
instructed to
disappeared from
turn
the
off
internal
all outdoor
network
lighting at
exactly
900
36
PM.
hours
Keep
after she
second
filed
floor
her
lighting at the
complaint.
lowest set.
The
YK
changelog was
Osiris brought
executed
into
from the
villa
system's
at
highest
8:40
access
PM.
level server,
No one
a
accompanied
device
him.
bearing the
A serving
identifier
witness said he appeared not
DCCA1,
entirely conscious.
located in the
For the
coordination
next
office on the
45
fourth
minutes,
floor of the
there was
Security
no image or
Administration
sound
Wing.
showing his presence on the ground
Only
floor
2
where
individuals
people were
possess the
dancing.
authority to perform a
An
system-level
internal video
personnel
leaked by
removal
one of
at
the
that
cleaning
tier,
staff showed
the head of
Osiris
Federal
sitting alone
Human
in a hallway on
Resources
the second
and
floor,
Detention Center.
head bowed, both
No
hands covering
confirmation
his face.
exists as
The
patient was
hallway
made.
lights flickered
The
repeatedly,
removal of Warden
as if
TD's name
malfunctioning.
was not
No one
accompanied
else
by
was
any
in the frame. He
or
wore a
protective
white dress shirt,
reassignment.
but the back of the
At
collar was pulled
11:20
down as
a.m.,
if it
a
had
printed
been yanked
copy
hard.
of the personnel
10:03
deployment chart
PM.
was generated in
According to an
preparation for the new
anonymous
week's
testimony from
schedule.
someone who had worked as a
Under the
bartender
section
for
marked
Diddy at
Internal
private
Alert,
events.
TD's
The
name
second floor is where the special guests are kept. No one is allowed to leave that floor unless they're called down. An important detail: all mobile phones from the staff were collected at 7:00 p.m. The access keycards for second floor rooms were controlled by the private security team. Doors could not be opened from the inside without fingerprint confirmation. 10:30 p.m. Music on the ground floor stopped for 12 minutes. A recovered audio clip from a noise monitoring device recorded sounds like something heavy falling, running footsteps, and a loud scream unidentifiable in origin. The music then resumed, but with significantly boosted, low-end frequencies, indicating noise masking. 11:10 p.m. A housekeeping staff member reported to her supervisor a large stain in the second floor hallway. Cleaning was not allowed. The supervisor said, "Leave it. No one is to go up." The hallway floor was covered with beige carpet. The nature of the stain was never confirmed. After that night, the entire second floor interior was fully replaced. The carpet supplier confirmed that the replacement order exceeded the standard amount for a villa of that size by more than double. 11:43 p.m. A message was sent from Osiris's secondary account to an unidentified recipient. "I'm not okay. Don't call, don't text. If anything happens, tell my mom." The message went unanswered. 6 minutes later, the account was logged out of all devices. 12:12 a.m. A woman who had previously worked parties hosted by Diddy confirmed, "If they took your phone, but you still managed to send one message, it means you found a room to hide in. No one gets internet access inside, except the main suite." 12:25 a.m. The ground floor paused for a second time. The DJ stopped the music for 15 minutes. No one came downstairs. No one went out the gate. Security guards remained in fixed positions. From afar, the
will leave
second
you
floor lights
speechless.
were seen
When the first
flashing
images from the
irregularly.
federal raid on Diddy's $40 million
a
Los Angeles
housekeeper
estate were
named
released,
C.
no one
Anonymous left the
expected this.
villa,
Neatly
citing
stacked in
stomach
display
pain. She
cabinets
left
like
a
prized
note in the
possessions
staff
were
room.
200
I don't
bottles
want to
of
see
baby
what I
oil.
saw again.
Right next to
The
them,
note was
over
later
900
confiscated.
bottles of lubricant.
She never returned
rows
to work.
and rows. It looked less
10:05
like a
a.m.
home and more like
A
a
loud
warehouse
noise
for
was
something
recorded
far
near
more
the pool area.
disturbing.
A street
These weren't the
camera
kind of
from a
items
villa
most people
across the
keep in
road
bulk, but for
captured the
investigators,
silhouette
it painted
of
a
a
chilling
man
picture.
slumped over the
Why would
second
one of
floor
the most
balcony,
powerful men in
then
hip-hop
pulled
need
back
this much?
inside.
And more
No one
importantly,
confirmed it
what
was
exactly were they
Osiris,
used for?
but the build and hairstyle
It
matched
started with
exactly.
a knock,
At
then
that
a
time,
battering ram.
no one
On a
called the
quiet
police.
morning
The
in
villa's
March
exterior
2024,
lights remained
Homeland
completely off
Security
from
agents stormed
10:07
Sean
a.m.
Diddy
to
Combs' LA
3:00
mansion in
4:20
the elite
a.m.
neighborhood of Holmby
According to
Hills.
data from
Not long
Sangster
after,
Airport,
another team
a
hit his
black
Miami
SUV
property
with
on the
no
glitzy
license
Star
plate
Island.
arrived
These
at the
weren't just
VIP
casual
zone.
searches.
A
These were
hooded
federal
man
raids
wearing
with
dark
helicopters overhead,
sunglasses
agents
boarded
in
an
full
internal
tactical
shuttle
gear,
to the
and
private
entire
waiting
blocks
area.
on
He was
lockdown.
confirmed
What
to
were
be
they looking
YK
for?
Osiris.
That
His
question didn't
passport
stay
was
unanswered
scanned
for long.
automatically.
Inside the
No
sprawling
fingerprint check.
17,000
No
square foot
luggage
mansion,
screening.
agents
No one
uncovered a scene that
accompanied
left
him.
even
No
seasoned
farewells.
investigators
No
plan
escort.
and
The
control
reason
the
for
sex
his departure from
performances,
Jamaica was
which
not
he called
specified.
freak-offs.
5:41 a.m.
And
The
he often
plane took off
electronically
economy
recorded
class
them.
seat.
A few
No
bottles.
meal.
We're
No
talking
interaction
hundreds.
with the
It
flight
looked
crew.
less like
A fellow passenger described. He sat motionless, didn't sleep, didn't speak, didn't blink. After landing in Miami, Osiris vanished from all public appearances for the next 10. No shows, no music releases, no posts, no appearances at any of the events he had previously confirmed. On July 1st, a secondary Instagram account suddenly went live. Plain interface, no filters, no background music. YK Osiris appeared, unshaven, messy hair, hoarse voice, pale face. He spoke exactly 19 words. Jamaica wasn't a vacation. I can't stay silent anymore. What he did, the video cut off. No network error, but the message was clear. Every piece of what happened from the Montego Bay villa to the live stream moment has since been assembled like a crime map. There's been no official statement, no criminal charges, no publicly described offense, but each data point has been placed into a timeline, and the picture is starting to form. Why Osiris hasn't said another word since. Part 3. A witness awakens the windowless holding room. On July 2nd, an anonymous account suddenly appeared on Platform X, Twitter, posting a short message, along with 3 blurred photos in which the accompanying text contained only one sentence. He didn't go willingly. I was there. I heard him banging against the wall. There was no sender information, no platform verification, but image metadata showed a match with Montego Bay, Jamaica, with the photo timestamp falling between on June 19th, exactly during the time YK Osiris was confirmed to be inside the villa, privately rented by Diddy's team for the closed event. The 3 photos showed in order: a door completely sealed with black tape, and 2 long scratch marks on the wall, an unfinished brick wall with a small blood stain near the floor, and a shadowy figure curled up in the corner of a room, with no bedding, no natural light, no personal belongings, with a body frame and hairstyle confirmed to match YK Osiris, although the face was deliberately blurred. An image forensic specialist, later hired by an independent media outlet, verified that the wall structure, type of lighting, brick layout, and shadow angles completely matched the 3rd floor of the villa, used by Diddy in Montego Bay, further confirming that this was not a standard bedroom, but rather an isolated room designed as a temporary holding area with a door that had no internal latch, no window, no ventilation slit, and a detachable light fixture controllable from the outside, typically only found in internal zones, used for isolating uncooperative individuals or subjects needing behavioral restraint. That same afternoon, a staff member who had worked at Diddy's previous villa in 2022 called a local newspaper tip line and left a voice recording over 17 minutes long, in which the person recalled their personal experience with firm wording. The 3rd floor never has room keys for outside. People who are taken up there don't have the right to come back down, and if anyone tries to leave, someone will stop them at the stairs. I once saw a woman scream for a phone call, but just 10 minutes later she came down quiet, like she'd never opened her mouth. When asked whether anyone else had witnessed similar situations, the person replied, I know 4 people. All of them left Jamaica within a week after the last party. One was a private driver for VIP guests, and the other 3 worked in the kitchen. None of them want to say anything.
Shortly before that, a food delivery worker for the villa on the night of June 19th confirmed to an independent news site that when he brought a food tray to the villa gate, he was stopped and not allowed to go up the stairs to the second floor, even though the order clearly stated, delivered a guest room, and while standing at the foot of the stairs he heard strange sounds which he described as not music, but the sound of something heavy dropping, then a faint groan coming from above. He was paid twice the usual rate, but wasn't asked to sign an invoice, wasn't shown any guest list, and was instructed to leave the main gate in less than 90 seconds, with no thank you and no confirmation of who received the delivery. On July 3rd, a relative of YK Osiris posted a short status on their personal Facebook. His mother is crying. He hasn't eaten in 2 days. Please don't ask him to talk. He's still trying to figure out if he's even himself. At the same time, a leaked text message from a phone number matching the device previously used by Osiris for his secondary Instagram account circulated online reading, "I'm scared. I don't know if it was real or a nightmare."
I don't want to speak because they'll come back. They said if I talk, no one will believe me. And then I started believing it too. This message was verified by 2 independent sources and confirmed by a digital data expert to be unedited. Throughout the period from his return to the US until the July 1st live stream, Osiris had no social media activity, did not attend any scheduled recordings despite prior contracts, and even canceled a $600,000 music video shoot without a clear reason. An insurance company denied compensation, citing leave due to undefined personal condition, while Osiris's manager declined to answer any press questions, replying only with a single line via email, "No comment." That same evening, a former member of Diddy's logistics team messaged an investigative journalist with the following quote: "If he tells everything that happened in Jamaica, this will be the day Diddy has nowhere left to run." Attached to the message was an internal diagram of the Montego Bay villa with the third floor or area marked in red and bold letters, "Private, access by order only." By late night on July 3rd, a short video was shared on a private forum dedicated to censored content, showing YK Osiris being escorted in a private vehicle to a facility on the outskirts of Georgia. The video was filmed from a distance, but clearly showed a man with his head down, wearing dark sunglasses, a hoodie, and a medical bandage on his left wrist, not speaking to anyone during the walk from the car into the facility gate. A local reporter observing confirmed that it was a closed psychiatric treatment center with strict access control and that no information would be provided to the media under any circumstances. There has been no statement from Osiris, no official complaint filed, no audio recordings describing misconduct. But every image, every witness account, every piece of satellite data, every scratch, every drop of blood, every sealed door, all are reconstructing the outline of a night without cameras, without witnesses, without justice. Only one person walked out silent, head down, crying in front of the camera, unable to finish a single sentence. Part 4, leaked file audio from the inside. On the afternoon of July 3rd, an unnamed email was sent to 3 addresses belonging to independent news organizations, with an attached audio file titled Voice Internal Capture ZO519, 7B in size, 4 minutes and 19 seconds in length, containing no sender information, no caption, and no description. After being analyzed by a forensic data verification agency in San Diego, the results showed that the sound in the file matched the acoustic characteristics of a sealed room with a low ceiling, unpainted brick walls, concrete flooring, and 3-dimensional sound insulation, exactly matching the description of the 3rd floor of the Montego Bay villa. The file begins with slow footsteps, the faint squeak of a metal hinge, followed by the sound of something heavy being thrown onto a hard surface, possibly a human body or an iron chair. Then 9 seconds of complete silence, followed by heavy, irregular breathing and a trembling male voice saying, I can't do it. I don't make me. I'm not going back there." The voice has not been officially identified, but an AI analysis by the lab showed an 86% match with YK Osiris's vocal frequency from previous interviews, especially in the final consonants and the breath gaps between phrases, both of which are uncommon traits. Following that line, there's the sound of staggering movement, a collision with a hard object, the dragging of something with metal legs, and then another male voice deeper and lower, whose identity is unclear, saying, "You don't have to do anything, just stay right there, don't make things worse." There were no commands, no yelling, just a steady tone like someone handling a situation that has occurred many times before. After that came nearly a full minute of audio silence. Then the first voice returned, sounding more panicked, speaking in broken lines. "There has to be a camera. There has to be a camera. It can't just disappear. Is anyone there?" Followed by the sound of a hand hitting a hard surface 3 times. The echo suggesting a small empty room with no sound-absorbing material. The file ends with the sound of a door locking, footsteps retreating, and a faint static noise resembling a cut radio signal. Immediately after the file was confirmed, unedited, the three media outlets that received the email simultaneously posted public notices stating that they had turned the evidence over to the FBI and would not comment further due to legal reasons. An independent investigative organization in Los Angeles later revealed that the file had been sent from an IP address located on Grand Cayman Island, making it impossible to trace the sender. By the evening of July 3rd, an anonymous Reddit user posted a replica of the villa's internal network map in Montego Bay, showing a private Wi-Fi system consisting of 4 unnamed nodes, one of which was labeled ShadowCam03, and recorded as active from 7th on June 19th, exactly matching the time frame of the incident involving YK Osiris. This node was reported to have emitted a continuous Bluetooth signal for 6 hours without any external connection,
present,
meaning the camera was
and no
used
longer
internally,
has a
not
voice who will
transmitting
pursue
over the
justice
internet,
for
but
her
recording to a
accusation.
local memory drive.
As of the
same
taken
time, a
against
former
Diddy,
member of the audio
no
crew
expansion
who had
of the
worked in these private
investigation,
events in
no
2021
isolation orders,
contacted a journalist
no
in
equipment
Atlanta,
access,
providing
no
information that
suspension
an
of
off-net
attorney
network
communication.
internal recording
Everything
system had been
inside
installed
Solitary
in a
Block
Turks
C
and Chaos
continued as
villa at the
before.
special request of the
Everything
coordinator.
except the
This
fear.
device recorded
If a
all
female
audio from the
warden
third
can
floor
vanish
area
after a
without
single note,
requiring
thing
network
except the
access,
fear.
had no
If a
indicator,
female
light could
warden
not
can
be
vanish
detected by
after a
standard
single
wave
note,
scanners,
ones
and
who
stored
once
data
worked
in a
overnight in
removable
that
mini
area.
SSD
The
that
ones
could
who
only be
filed for
detached
leave without
using
giving a
private
reason.
magnetic code.
The ones who
source did
saw
not
but never
confirm
spoke.
whether the system
No
was
one
present
mentions
in
the note.
Jamaica, but said
But
if it
everyone
was the same
knows it
coordinator,
appeared.
then there's a good
And if what
chance
it
the
says
same
is
equipment was
true,
brought to
the
Montego
punishment.
Bay. They follow
Part 3.
protocol and they don't
The
miss a
person no
single
longer
sound
in the
from that
system.
area.
The
When
internal
asked why
personnel
such a system
database of the
existed,
Atlanta
the
Federal
person
Detention
replied,
Center
"Not to
updated its
record
weekly
to ensure
roster.
silence.
Under
If
the
someone
category
reacts off
Special
script,
Personnel
they
Code
need evidence
Adjustment,
for internal
the name
handle."
of Warden
Another source,
TD
a
was
staff
marked as
member who had been
removed from
hired for
system by
post-event
administrative
cleanup,
order.
stated, "We were
There was
told
no
not to
decision number
open any
recorded.
door on the
It
third
was
floor, even
deactivated.
if there was a
Her
smell or a
personal
sound.
contact
Only when the
information
trash truck
disappeared
arrived
from
did
the
the
internal
special team
network
go up.
exactly
I never met that
36
team.
hours
They wore
after
no
she filed her
uniforms,
complaint.
no logo.
The
This
change
witness
log was
provided a photo of
executed
a
from the
silver
system's
garbage bag
highest
entirely
access level
different from the
server,
traditional
a
black
device
kitchen
bearing the
bags with a label
identifier
that read, "Private do not
DCCA1,
open," attached to the
located in the
top.
coordination
The image matched
office on the
materials
4th floor of the
previously used
Security
in a Miami
Administration
villa
wing.
that was investigated in
Only
2018
two individuals
during a
possess
sexual
the
assault
authority
case
to
that was
perform
later
a
dropped
system-level
due to insufficient
personnel
evidence.
removal at that
Another key
tier,
detail
the
came
head
from
of
the
Federal
logistics
Human
coordinator
Resources
at Sanctuary
and
Airport.
Detention
There was
Center.
one piece of luggage with
No
listed
confirmation
owner sent from
exists as
Montego
patient was
Bay to New
made.
York via
The
special
removal
cargo
of Warden
internally marked
TD's
personal
name was
effects
not
sealed.
accompanied by
That
any
package left
or
Jamaica
protective
at 6:02
reassignment.
a.m. on June 20th,
At
the
11:20
same time
a.m., a
Osiris
printed
boarded
copy of the
commercial flight
personnel
to Miami.
deployment
Since
chart was
then, no
generated
one
in
knows what it
preparation
contained.
for the new
With all
week's
the leaked
schedule.
information from
Under the
covert
section
audio,
marked Internal
camera
Alert,
schematics, and
TD's name
soundproofing device descriptions to the special cargo route. The only conclusion that can be drawn is everything inside the Montego Bay villa was designed not only to prevent information from leaking out, but also to prepare for the possibility that someone inside might try to break the silence. And now the pieces of data are beginning to fall out one by one as if someone has been holding on to everything, waiting for the right moment to release them. Part 5, The Reaction Machine. The curtain that can no longer be drawn. On July 4th at 8:47 a.m., New York Times. The spokesperson for the FBI's South Florida office declined to comment when asked about the audio recordings sent to 3 independent media outlets regarding YK Osiris, merely emphasizing, "We neither confirm nor deny the existence of any investigation involving the individual named in the question." At the same time, the U.S. Department of Justice had not issued any official statement, but a reporter specializing in federal investigations, based in Washington, D.C., confirmed that the FBI office in Miami had received copies of the audio file as well as the internal floor plan of the Montego Bay villa, and that the case had been flagged as subject to review special protocol, a classification reserved for matters involving international elements, public figures, or potential human rights violations abroad. By 10, the homepage of one of the 3 media outlets that received the email was hit by a 17-minute DOS attack immediately after publishing its initial article titled "YK Osiris May Have Been Held Against His Will." The article was taken down 26 minutes later without explanation, and all links returned to 404 error, though archived versions continued to circulate on Reddit and Telegram communities. At 12:30 p.m. that same day, Diddy's lawyer, Maurice Ellington, held an urgent press conference in Manhattan, describing all the information surrounding the villa in Jamaica as baseless conspiracy theories, a deliberate act of defamation aimed at destroying the reputation of a man who has been fully exonerated of all criminal charges previously, and asserting that Mr.
Trumps was not present at any party in Jamaica during the time in question.
Will leave you
However, when a
speechless.
reporter from the
When the
Miami
first images
Tribune
from the
directly
federal raid
asked,
on
"Can
Diddy's
Mr.
$40 million
Did he
Los
confirm
Angeles
that he met
estate were
YK
released,
Osiris
no
in
one
Montego
expected
Bay?"
this.
Attorney
Neatly
Ellington
stacked in
refused to
display
answer,
cabinets like
citing,
prized
"This is not a
possessions
court
were
proceeding."
200
At the
bottles
same
of baby
time, a
oil.
former
Right
personal
next to them,
bodyguard of Diddy
over
from
900 bottles of
2016-20
lubricant.
posted on his
Rows and
personal
rows.
account,
It looked
stating
less
that he
like a home
recognized
and
the
more like
iron
a
chair
warehouse
shown
for
in
something
leaked
far more
photos as the
disturbing.
type made
These weren't the
specifically
kind
for
of
Sean's
items
events
most people
chairs,
keep in
not
bulk,
sold
but for
commercially, but
investigators,
produced
it
in
painted a
limited
chilling
quantity for
picture.
controlled
Why
area.
would one of the most
Information
powerful
later
men in
confirmed
hip-hop
by a
need this
furniture
much?
company in
And more
Atlanta as
importantly,
matching a
what
limited
exactly were they
2020
used for?
production or mainstream outlets from
It started
CNN
with a
and
knock,
NBC to
then a
Rolling Stone
battering
avoided
ram.
using
On a
Diddy's name
quiet
in their
morning in March
headlines on the morning of
2024,
July 4th,
Homeland
instead
Security
describing the
agents stormed
situation
Sean
as
Diddy Combs'
unverified
LA
evidence
mansion in the
related to
elite
a
neighborhood
private
of
party
Holly
in
Hills.
Jamaica involving
Not
a
long
famous
after,
artist.
another
Yet
team
by
hit
the
his
evening,
Miami
the New
property
York
on the
Post
glitzy
broke its
Star Island.
silence, publishing
These
an
weren't just
article
casual
titled
searches,
"Sound from
these were
Hell
federal
Leaked
raids with
Recording
helicopters
Believed to be from
overhead,
Diddy's
agents
Villa"
in full
sent
tactical
shivers through
gear, and
public. The
entire
piece
blocks on
quoted
lockdown.
29 words
What were
from
they
the
looking
audio
for?
file,
That
included
question didn't
expert
stay
commentary
unanswered
on
for
the
long.
sound analysis,
Inside the
and asserted
sprawling
all signs
17,000
indicate
square
this was
foot
not
mansion,
staged.
agents
Following this
uncovered a
story,
scene
the
that left
hashtag
even
where
seasoned
justice for Y
investigators
Osiris
allegedly
became a
plan
global trend
and
on
control
Twitter
the sex
EX for 6
performances,
hours,
which
triggering a
he
wave of
called
artists
freak-offs.
resharing Osiris's July
And he
1st
often
live stream,
electronically
including
recorded
singer
them.
Summer Walker,
The few
rapper
bottles.
Russ, and
We're
actor
talking
Jonathan
hundreds.
Major,
It looked
each
less
using
like
phrases like "time to speak up," "stop the silence," and "no one should go through that." On the opposing side, a group of Diddy's loyal fans responded on Facebook and Instagram by posting content denying all accusations and claiming Osiris is seeking attention due to a declining reputation, even re-uploading old videos of Osiris making controversial statements to suggest he is psychologically unstable. However, their counterattack had virtually no effect when a newly leaked message from a member of Diddy's team to the Jamaica event's music director appeared reading, "Delete all system logs after 3 sour day. No timestamps. Don't keep local copy." This message was verified as authentic by a data expert who discovered the server logs had been remotely wiped at the exact time mentioned. Within 24 hours of the audio leak, a total of 4 petitions calling for a federal investigation into the alleged unlawful detention by a U.S. citizen on foreign soil garnered nearly 700,000 electronic signatures. Human Rights Watch issued a brief statement. "If what is described is true, this is no longer a personal matter. This is an organized human rights violation." The UK's Guardian also published a commentary titled "Hollywood Can No Longer Hide Its Secrets, and What Comes Next Isn't Just a Scandal, It's a System." Notably, a state legislator from Georgia, where Osiris resides, spoke at a local press conference. "If a resident of my state has been physically or psychologically harmed abroad under conditions of power abuse, I have an obligation to call on the State Department to intervene." At the same time, the state's representative office sent an official letter requesting verification of Osiris's current physical and mental health in case of threats, coercion, or indirect isolation under the guise of medical care. By late night on July, major platforms like TikTok and YouTube began flooding with content, exposing Diddy's party history with many former DJs, lighting technicians, and videographers from past events, confirming that there were restricted areas, no lighting on the 3rd floor, and NDA clauses forbidding any mention of special guests. One such video by DJC was posted at 12:02 a.m. on July 5th, opening with the line, "I stayed silent for 3, but no one deserves to cry alone in a room like he did." That video garnered over 11 million views in the first 10 hours and prompted widespread inquiries into guest lists, event details, and the identity of the system coordinator. At this point, Sean Combs has remained completely silent. No statements, no posts, no public appearances. Lawyer Ellington has refused all interview requests. Meanwhile, YK Osiris remains absent. No posts, no confirmations or denials, no public appearances. And late on the night of July 4th, another anonymous account sent the 3 reporters who first received the audio a single message he hasn't said at all. There's still footage, but the one who holds it is afraid. Part 6. Signal Crossroads. Cracking the system. On the morning of July 5th at 8 Eastern Time, the internal data delivery system of a cloud storage provider based in Seattle detected unusual access to a private folder labeled Restricted ND Level 4, where raw recordings from an automatic audio system developed by a sound equipment manufacturer in Los Angeles were stored. Less than 4 minutes later, an IP address from the Virgin Islands attempted to download a 32 MB file titled Montego B3 Foldo but was denied access due to missing authentication. The system detected that the internal token had been reset using elevated admin privileges, an action executed from a server outside U.S. territory, specifically via a VPN cluster in Zurich, Switzerland. This was the first time such a security token had been reset externally. Over the next 12 minutes, the entire storage system entered emergency lockdown. All files related to the keywords Montego, Jamaica, and B-level were re-encrypted and moved into temporary access for the legal team, while all data transfers were halted without explanation. A responsible engineer said, "That's when we realized someone was looking for the video not to release it but to delete it permanently. This internal data had never been leaked before." But while examining logs, the system detected a hidden script running from June 18th to June 22nd on a backup server, automatically backing up footage of the villa's third floor every 10 minutes to a cache drive before transferring it to the main server after 20. However, due to a network failure on June 20th, the backup to the main server was interrupted, leaving 8 incomplete video clips cut off at frame. The final frame showing a figure lying against the wall with both legs bound by an unidentified object, after which the camera tilted toward the floor and lost signal. All files were placed under legal hold, meaning they could not be edited, deleted, and would only be accessed by the federal legal team under court order. But by then, the internal security team confirmed someone else knew the video existed and was trying to suppress its emergence. At the same time, in New York, an underground media syndicate specializing in censored data analysis released a report analyzing 27 scattered short videos shared by former staff at private parties since 2018, of which 5 had background audio matching 100% with the Jamaica Villa record. The report confirmed repeated use of background music designed to mask abnormal sounds, specifically struggling noises, suppressed cries for help, and metallic impact. A frequency spectrum analysis by an Israeli expert revealed the background music was engineered to drown out frequencies between 20 Hz and 500 Hz, the common range for human shouting in enclosed spaces. An independent investigator summed it up: not music for entertainment, but music to hide something. Once the report was published, the videos were taken down within 2 hours, raising questions about content control. At the same time, the 2 original uploaders deactivated their accounts and stopped responding to any press inquiry. In Washington, D.C., an internal staffer from the Congressional Oversight Committee sent a confidential summary to the Federal Human Rights Office, stating, "The overlap of data between the audio recording the third floor map and the unauthorized access logs indicates a parallel audio-visual system that operates outside legal standards, showing signs of tech being used to detain someone against their will." The memo was coded gray, indicating it did not yet warrant a criminal investigation, but deserved special monitoring. A senior advisor at the State Department disclosed that Jamaica was under pressure from 3 fronts: international media, human rights organizations, and regional allies to explain the lack of any legal record connected to the Montego Bay villa. Despite clear evidence of unusual activity during the presence of a U.S. citizen, a representative from Jamaica's Ministry of Justice responded, "It's rented private property. No one reported anything. No lawsuits. No reason to intervene." But inside the ministry, an anonymous prosecutor said, "We've been instructed to maintain the record. Any intervention must be sanctioned at the diplomatic level." Meanwhile, an Eastern European leak network published a 19-page PDF purported to be the lease contract for the Montego Bay Villa signed by Blackline Ventures LLC, a Delaware shell company represented by Sean Combs' legal counsel. Clause 14 explicitly stated, "The entire third floor area shall not be recorded by any internal security cameras installed by the lessor. All activity in this area shall be the sole responsibility of the lessor." Clause 17 added, "The lessor commits not to retain any image, audio, or data related to the less guests, events, or staff, even under legal authority." This was the first evidence confirming the active removal of traceable records of all activities inside the villa, especially on the highly suspicious third floor. A programmer who had written the lighting control system for the villa admitted, "I was instructed to disable all sensor lighting on the third floor after 9:09 p.m. Doors were controlled by biometric fingerprint scanners, but there's an override code that only one person holds. I didn't know who, but whenever something went wrong, I got a call from the same phone number, always that number." All these pieces, audio files, access logs, lease contract, distorted sound signal, lost video, converge on one point: the third floor of the Montego Bay Villa was not a relaxation space. It was an ecosystem designed to leave no trace, operating as a separate block, isolated from law, media, and public cameras. But within that closed system, one link broke, one signal wasn't deleted, one piece of data was backed up off protocol, and that is what is creating the first crack in a structure that was designed never to fracture.